Welcome to the Hollywood Scholar. I'm Jed Morgan. One of the first articles I wanted to review here real fast for us was how the fans are responding to the overall decision making at Warner Brothers. I love Gary from Neurotic's statement that Disney is evil, Warner Brothers is stupid. That's kind of how they seem to operate. They make all the possibly worst decisions that they could inceptionally make. They're just like, oh, what's the dumbest thing we can do? You know what? That's exactly what we should be doing here. And they run with it. And it's just really crazy to see how many dumb decisions one company can sequentially make, from their comic books to their TV shows owning the CW. They're responsible for all that shit, the CW that's currently hasn't made money since its inception. So not really a good sign. And then, especially what they do with the DCEU, and in this case, they're referring to the Monsterverse as well. So it's just generally a terrible company with dumbass decisions. And we got this article here from Bound in the comments that's kind of going over how the fans responded to both the Snyderverse situation and the Monsterverse situation. Which I was never a big fan of the Monsterverse. I did like the newest movie, the Godzilla vs. Kong. I thought that was good. I thought it was okay. I did not like Kong Skull Island whatsoever. I mean, Brie Larson was in it, and she was, her regular block of wood acting. And I never actually saw the original Godzilla movie or the sequel, so I haven't seen either of those Godzilla movies, so I can't really state on their quality. But they seem to have made a fair amount of money and have a reliable fan base, as Kong vs. Godzilla was one of the highest grossing films in COVID up to that point. It did really well, especially with it being really one of the only ones that it was successful with the day and date release on HBO Max at the same time. So some surprising stuff when it came to that, and some really large fan support. And if fans are supporting you, even if I don't like it, that's what's important. Make decisions based on fan support. And it seems like Warner Brothers just like, fans are liking this? We have to do the exact opposite. And it's just cycling into more and more dumb territory. But let's see what this article has to say about it. The company and subsidiaries may not be circling the drain yet, but Warner Brothers is on an from plane at the moment, PR-wise, between the problems with the DC Comics and Joss Whedon's recent attempt to explain himself and clear his name. Yeah, I have a video about that, Joss Whedon's recent remarks on the whole situation with his rendition of the Justice League. A lot of drama surrounding that, but check out the video if you're interested. Neither case is going right for those who would benefit, and fans are rebelling even harder on Twitter. They got the hashtag Boycott Warner Brothers to trend in the top topics in the past week or so, and that is just fans are making themselves very clear across platforms. It's not just a Twitter thing, because Twitter's not really a good representation of, the world, or even our country. It's a very minute segment, so I won't take just the trending aspect of it, but it's trending on YouTube, it's trending in a lot of other places, so it's fans don't like this shit. May have taken the side of Ray Fisher, and I don't really take his side or Joss Whedon's. They're just both bad people in my opinion. Just more about the Joss Whedon situation. Twitter's on their opinion. Fisher really is standing up to racial injustice in the workplace are cropping up. Yeah, a lot of Twitter users are really jumping on that bandwagon. I'm more on the bandwagon of restore the Snyderverse. I didn't like most of the Snyderverse besides the Justice League movie he did this year. I thought that was good. Not great, but good. But fans are supporting it wholeheartedly, and I'm in support of the fans. So if the fans are coming out in support of it, hell yeah, I'm gonna support restore the Snyderverse. But Twitter is focusing on the racial aspect of it, which is not surprising. No, they're not alone. Others are lining up to reply using the hashtag and adding their support. Yeah, more Ray Fisher stuff, and I break that down a lot more in my other video. You should definitely check that out. They altered everything they could about Zack Snyder's vision and David Ayer to give us two very different cuts of two separate movies, leaving one the Ayer cut of The Suicide Squad, never to be seen. Yeah, I'd definitely be interested to see what that Ayer cut would look like. The Suicide Squad, the original, there were parts of it that I quite enjoyed, and most of it I hated, but there was a good story hidden beneath all the other crap, so I'd be interested to see if an Ayer cut makes as big of a difference to the overall plot and story structure and characters to the same degree that Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League did for his characters. Definitely be something very interesting to check out in the long run. In that post, someone else fans are railing behind was pointed out that the drama Ben Affleck had to put up with. Affleck recently explained it was a combo of Zack Snyder walking away when hit by a family tragedy and demands of putting up with the studio and took a toll on his personal life and ruined playing Batman. Yeah, I also have a video up on that. Like, it was just a super bad experience for him, so he's pretty much hanging up the cowl. Him and Henry Cavill are both done, but Henry Cavill still wants to do stuff, and that's why their decision to get away from his portrayal of Superman is just asinine. But yeah, they killed Ben Affleck's interest, and I would have liked to see, like, casting. They're very good at casting. I love pretty much everyone besides Ezra Miller's Flash. I love everyone else's casting in the Justice League Snyderverse movies, but they need better scripts. So I really wish we would have seen a good justice done to the Batfleck portrayal. Boycott Warner Brothers so actors don't have to have the same suffer experience that Ben Affleck had to go through. They wrote, yeah, it's just they're piling on, focusing on the actor's experience. I'd focus more on the story response to the fans liking the stories. Yes, the stuff that happened behind the scenes was terrible when it came to how they were treated, but there's other ways of doing that without going in a whole new direction like they're planning on. So I'm not really on board with this whole boycott for their treatment of fans. Just don't hire Joss Whedon again if it was really that bad. Like, if it was criminal or anything undue, yes, you don't have to hire him again. Don't cancel him. Fuck that. I'm never going to support cancel culture in an opinion base. But if he actually did stuff that was, criminal or violated policy, fine, whatever. But Restore the Snyderverse should definitely be where the boycott Warner Brothers perspective derives from. Some think the solution is to make up for all the pain is to give DC its own studio and make it give it more autonomy, similar to Marvel's dynamic at Disney. Marvel doesn't have autonomy from Disney, not anymore. They did originally. They absolutely did originally. But you can see Disney's fingerprint all over Phase 4. It is bad how infected Disney, and especially the Disney Plus shows, it's all so PG, if nothing else. You can't argue that it's gotten a lot more tame, and that's been a thing that's been criticized, but that's very much the Disney aspect, not the Marvel aspect. So that comparison isn't exactly wholly accurate, but a little autonomy would be good. It's always nice to have someone to boycott the decisions, but if the person boycotting the decisions is an asshat, it's not going to make much of a difference either way. Give DC their independence and make Warner Brothers their silent partner. I could see that. It's never going to happen, but that would go ways in possibly presenting an opportunity for solution, not necessarily the solution in and of itself. If this arrangement took place, it wouldn't make much difference, as Warner Brothers isn't doing anything to diverge from the comic label. Yeah, as I said, opportunity for change, not really change in and of itself, because their comic book lines are a lot more independent from Warner Brothers, and they're still making all these crazy dumb decisions. So I don't even know if Warner Brothers is wholly to blame in all this dumb shit that's going on surrounding this Snyderverse and whatnot. And speaking of listening to fans, Warner Brothers fumbled another major ball in the game of blockbuster franchises IP by letting the continuation of the Monsterverse slip through their fingers. Yeah, they're just making some really bad business decisions that are just compiling on top of each other and making things worse and worse. Despite the massive box office of Godzilla vs. Kong amid the dubious circumstances of a pandemic, and combined with worldwide grosses of 4 films over a decade, Warner Brothers streaming contender, HBO Max won't be the home for the new Godzilla TV series in development. That honor goes to Apple TV. Yeah, which is really weird. They have their own platform. Why would they contract out to a rival in a situation like that? Warner is getting roasted on Twitter while they weather every other storm. Yeah, just more and more dumb business decisions, making things worse and worse for themselves. Their leadership structure is not any way effective at the current time. Some theorize there's a reason, believing Warner Brothers and Legendary aren't getting along anymore, making the latter party seek greener pastures. I can see that, but Legendary, I don't know if they have the rights to do that independent of Warner Brothers. Like, Warner Brothers would have had to sign off on a decision like that to send it to Apple TV. Others identify the cause as Legendary wanting revenge for Warner protectorate measures when releasing Godzilla vs. Kong in theaters and on streaming last year that kept Legendary from selling their film to Netflix. If they were so close to Netflix. If they had such a big relationship with Netflix, why would they be going to Apple TV and not trying to go to Netflix for this TV show they're making? So I don't see where that argument comes into play at all. But the article just kind of breaks it down a little bit more, going into the division at Warner Brothers and how poorly they've handled both franchises and utterly just running their company into the ground, not to mention adding the CW into the situation, which apparently hasn't made money since its inception, which is not a good look for someone who's currently trying to sell it. So, they're just keep being dumb, a dumb company doing dumb things. It's it's how it works. But anyway, that's all I have for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Anon. If you like what I do here and want to see good, compelling stories that Hollywood will no longer give you, check out my book series, Odyssey of a Phoenix, a mythological epic about philosophy, morality, and modern-day mental illness issues. Books 1, Down in Flames, and Book 2, Apocalypse Then, currently on sale. Book 3, Kill the Dark, coming soon.